Peace, all Rarikama I here of Upright Root and Aspire Higher and Rarikaba Mystics. Welcome to the Rarikaba Mystics channel, page, or group, whichever one you're at. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Right. So, welcome to this week. I'm excited, okay, and I feel like I have to say it like in a kind of coyish way because I know this isn't exactly exciting times for the masses, but I'm sure a few of you are on the way where you understand these are just changing times. So get excited if you're feeling down about it, man. Don't lower your vibration by being fearful, being like angry and hateful about what's going on right now. There's a purpose in everything and there's a divine plan at hand. Okay, so this week, commencing the 29th of March until the 4th of April, but I'm gonna continue on until the 5th of April. So, like I say, I can't always get the messages out early on the Soul Day. So, I'm gonna have the Soul Day preamped. Let's say it's ready for you right there. So this week is half and half, March and April. So we're moving into April month, the collectively seen as the fourth month, but the ancient is seen as the second month, as you know that the calendar started in March, so March would have been the first month, and the second month coming is April. So the title that I've got for this week is An Ode Back to Self. And an ode is like a symphony, a harmony, like a way of serenading, right? And back to self meaning back to you, your true you. Okay. So have a look at the calendar this week. Soul Day we have Luna in Taurus, and the 29th day is the 11th vibration, and undertone is the 8th vibration, and we have the waxing crescent moon, which is a great time to kind of build momentum, because you know we just had the it was a new moon on the 24th, right? Yes, new moon on the 24th of March, and the moon changes its phases every 3 days, and it changes usually its signs every about maximum 3 days. Can be 4 sometimes in certain constellations because some are much larger than others, but minimal 2 to 4 days, right? But it changes its phases every 3 days. And so we're in a waxing crescent phase, and the waxing crescent phase, like I said, it's a great time to build momentum, more fuel to power to whatever you intended for this new lunar cycle. And the new moon is when the lunar cycle begins, and it's a great time to initiate something new, you know. And you can also release and let go of the old for you to start something new, right? Okay. Great time to move away from the past and bring in the new. So this day, the waxing crescent in Taurus is conjuncting, well, we won't say an exact conjunct, but it was just a close range to the north of Aldebaran. Okay, Aldebaran is a star in the Taurus constellation. It's known to be the bullseye, and it's Aldebaran actually is an Arabic term for the follower. They say that because there's a constellation called Hades that it follows, and Hades is known as the rainmakers, right? The sisters that make it rain in more ways than one. Rain signifying, you know, I heard someone say make it rain like money. Yeah, you could say that, but also the cleansing, the changing of times again. And Aldebaran's also seen as the bull's eye. And the message that I got for this day is about following through. Okay, following through. Oh, before I continue on, the message for the whole week from my guides and my little pink notes is number 14 and Founded, which I actually had last week. I was surprised when it came out, but here we go. It's a reiteration for us to remember. We have to refound ourselves, make the changes that's necessary to, again, to be our best self, our true self. which coincides with the title that I got, which is Ode Back to Self, right? Okay. And on Moon Day, we have the moon in Taurus again, and it's the 30th of March, and it's undertone 30 being the 3 and the 0, and its undertone is a 10 vibration. And before we, I do need to reiterate the numerological influence and its significance each time. I have to remember that. So 29 again is 11. Every number we water down to either a double digit or a single digit, whichever one it hits first. Okay, so 29 is 11. We keep that as in 11 as a double digit because it's a how do you say, a double single digit, double of a single digit. So 11 is 1 1. Any number that we have numerologically wise that is doubled, always how do you say, is repeated, it has double the weight of that single digit, and it has an extra influence as well. Check out the post I did for the random Thursday life hacks on the Apparel and Aspire Higher pages. Okay, that details a little bit more about the numbers, and around the socials I'm sure I'll speak about it otherwise. So the 11 vibration is all about connecting with your highest heights, okay, your highest self, and which brings about your highest connections with yourself and others. So this day you may be thinking about certain people, certain situations that is of your highest vibration. And with the undertone being 8, it's about you checking the cycles that you are in with those people or that situation, and the communication that you're getting with self, okay, to bring about your abundance. And that's Soul Day, okay. So I'm going to do each day as it comes. So we have this message from last week for Soul Day, which is spirit first and matter after, and we are to balance both with judgment, okay. And also forgetting the undertone of the weekly messages with the cards is to commune always, clarify often, travel frequently, with the 2 of Wands. And before I move on with the Moon Day, Soul Day, this message is, I know it's a bit, like I said, I'm excited about these times, and I hope you get excited too, even if you don't feel it right now, okay? It's contradictory to what is going on, to travel frequently. They're telling us, don't do that, but it's important for us not to just stay stuck and just follow suit to everything that has been said, because a lot of things are being manifested through our fears and our thoughts and feelings about this whole situation, right? So commune always with yourself first and foremost, and others wherever you can. Clarify whatever needs to be clarified, okay? Your feelings, your interactions, okay? And travel frequently. Like, you don't have to go out every day, but definitely do take a walk outside. Do take in some fresh air. Do definitely take in some soul codes. Whenever you see the sun beaming, get out there. If you can reach your window, a balcony, your garden, get out there. Okay, it's really important because they really are trying to keep us down for a while. And I know there's been 2020 started with a big hoo-ha, like everybody's really excited about 2020, and now it's been completely dimmed. And that has everything to do with the fact that 2020 is actually 2012. And 2012, remember, there was a big hoopla about that. And because of things implemented now, because of the situations that are occurring now, it is a direct reflection. I mean, the whole hoopla was supposed to be for now. It always was, because the people that, governments and higher ups, they implement these things knowingly that we don't have the fuller scope, or most of us don't have the fuller scope. They only, it's only the few that have this kind of information that actually know the truth, that the fact that we actually in 2012, if you look at the if you go to Ethiopia, if anybody's visited Ethiopia or knows about the culture there, they still use the Coptic year because they know that truth. I remember Ethiopia is one of Africa's strongest continent because it was one that wasn't easily infiltrated by the communists and the what's the term? Escapes me, but it's completely, yeah, you know what's up. So they still hold their indigenous roots and understanding. Okay. So the commune always clarify often, travel frequently with the Two of Wands is about making a decision for your passions, your actions. Okay. Stand firm in what you were choosing to do. Okay. If you stay aligned to your higher self, if you don't fear, if you choose love, if you do the thing that you know is necessary for you, you won't get caught up in the hoopla. When you're following your higher self, you are guided for your highest good and you're always protected in that. Okay. So soul day we have here spirit first and matter after and balance both with the judgment card. Oop, there. Okay. Let's move that this side. Excuse me. Right. It's all about following through with what you know is true, and that is always spiritual first and matter after, and balancing both. What does that mean truly? It means like listening to your higher self, and if it's not your higher self that's running through you, it's about you balancing that out and figuring out why, how, where, when. You know, there are always way showers like myself, but you can always attune and internally go within and decipher what is going on. And you are your best counselor. Yes, there are times when you can and you should go outside of yourself. You be guided to those people, those situations, those places. But it has to start with you even wanting to. And there's been a judgment call for us to come out of our shells, our boxes, towards our naked truth. And look at that. That's we have a Taurus moon. That's a bull right there, isn't it? Is it a cow or something like that? And that represents Taurus energy. Nature. Our nature. To nurture our nature. Our truth. Not what society tells us to do, but what comes innate of you. Checking your cycles, check what and how you've moved before and how can you better move forward. Okay, on Moon Day we have your ships are coming in with justice. Oh yeah. See, I always just pull out the cards. I don't really take much time looking at them before I press record. So this is a nice combination. If you have been attuning to yourself, if you've been wanting to be more closer to your higher self, now is the time. A lot of this is coming about because of people being fed up with how their life has been, where they have been. There's been a lot of way showers shining their light around the place, and they're sparking lights in others. And this is why the government and the upper heads, the people that feel so the what I'm losing all my words, man. Shit. I used to have all kinds of terms for these people. Now it's all gone out of my head. Okay, whatever. So, I mentioned last week that there's been a lot of people waking up, and this year is even supposed to be even more people waking up. And even though I saw that the upper heads, so say they feel it might similar to that, but it wasn't actually that the quote I had for them. Anyways, the upper heads, let's call them, but I don't want to call them that because they're not upper heads. What we will call them? The bigots, right? The bigots have implemented this shutdown, this lockdown, this nobody come out, everybody has to stay inside the house. Because every time we're not naturally supposed to be inside the house. A lot of people have kind of become accustomed to staying inside the house. As we evolved, building houses and technology is part of our cycle. But the way they've constructed houses with all the wirings and the pipes and the electromagnetics and all of that, it really bogs down that human psyche. So the more we're inside, the less sparked we are, the less we can see the inspiration in others as well. And it's seeming like they're trying to like keep us inside through the summer, and it's not popping, it's not happening, okay? The summertime is the best time. It's like you can't knock nobody off their divinely guided high horse in the summertime. I say this all the time. Whenever the summertime comes, you can't like fool too many people. When the sun is shining bright, people are on their square. That's why there's so much poverty and disease-stricken situations implemented in the hotter climate countries. Because that in itself can get people down. But the sun, and in the same regard, people on that side of the earth, they have some that are just so is it ingenuous? Not ingenuous. Some real geniuses out there. Wherever the sun is hot, you find like geniuses. Or geniuses are born there wherever they travel elsewhere. I was born in Angola, right? So I'm just saying. The sun really brings you closer to your soul's purpose. And if you've been doing the work, you've been taking your time wanting to do the work, now is the time. And your ships are coming in. You should pat yourself on the back and rejoice now. Don't let this situation that they're doing purposefully to get us down in this peak time to get you down. Because the 2012 year is all about the change and expanding. Okay, it's a Jupiter energy. It's all about expanding. Moving away from the mundane, which is the basic everything. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that. Societal driven norms. To understanding the higher heights, higher mind, which is the heart of life, the love of life, your purpose, how to find it, seek it, sustain it. Okay? Justice is coming through on this moon day. And moon day is the second day of the week, and it's all about your emotions. It's all about your thoughts and your feelings. And on a 3-day of 30/10, 30, I don't like to ignore the 0. But in this instance, we're looking at just the 3. It's about creativity. And life is creation. Creation is life. And life is greater when you integrate, which is what the 10 vibration is all about. When you bring together the yin, the yang, and the divine, which is that trinity. When you integrate the masculine side of you, the action orientated, the goal-getter, and the feminine side of you, which is the receptive, the more spiritual inner standing. And then naturally, if those are balanced, those are in alignment with yin first and yang thereafter, which is the feminine principle first and then the masculine thereafter, that is divine. That is gold. That is solid. That is completion. That is integration. And the more you strive for that, justice will come to you. You'll be like, this is everybody, wearing their mask and their masks and their gloves and stuff, and that you are the one there making moves. And people are looking like you like, oh, but some people, if you look, they're like, yes, thank you for showing us that light, hands up in the air. Others are looking like, oh shit, that looks kind of scary. But don't be. And you know what I've been thinking? People that are wearing the masks and the gloves and stuff, I don't know if the herd immunity is the same thing, but similarly to how they use the vaccination, as long as you keep your immunity strong, you should open yourself up to this, because they put it out there now. It's here. You have to take care of your body, make sure you're strong, and go out there and face it, so then your body can get immune to it itself. Your antibodies will see as something foreign, will know that it's something, and then make natural antibodies for it. Your cells will make natural antibodies for it, rather than waiting for these lethal allopathic chemicals that they're going to be trying to give to people. That's why it's so important to take care of your health, because it is your wealth, If you're healthy from the get-go, then you have no problem. It's only if you're not looking after yourself in the first place, then that's when the problems ensue. Okay? Justice will be here for those who are striving to shake off their dead weight, their density, and elevate to their highest vibration. So Mars Day, third day of the week, we have Life is What You Make It with the 10 of Wands. Okay? And on this Mars Day, we have the 31st day of March. And March is also a Mars energy. And Mars is very much a masculine energy. It's that go-getter, action warrior, also deals with weaponry and army and all of these kind of situations, which is, here, which is what they're trying to implement anyways, the army coming out and the police state kind of situations. The moon is still in Taurus, and we have an undertone of a 66 energy, which is all about really understanding what on earth has been restricting your moves, which is not the 66 energy. So I started reading because I paused. Because on this Mars Day we have Mars south of Saturn conjuncting in Capricorn, and that is what the message what I was just reading is. What on earth has been restricting your moves? Okay, with the 66 energies, the sub double six of the six is, your bliss, your harmony, is what you want in life, understanding your past to move to better make the best moves in the future, but always in the now. We're not dwelling on the past, and we're not thinking too far ahead in the future. If we want something to come in to come in the way that you want it, in a high vibrating way, you have to be high vibrating right now. Okay, not worry what you did yesterday, but what can you do right now to change that feeling of yesterday, so you can bring in that, so you can continue that good feeling tomorrow. Okay, so Mars is south of Saturn in Capricorn. You know, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. And Capricorn is that material world. It's all about the material world. And Saturn is all about you finding your feet in this material world. And sometimes gives you tasks and limitations, restrictions to understand, to better understand this world. And Mars being all about the action is also masculine. The masculine is about the world as well. So again, what on earth, literally and figuratively, has been restricting your moves? It's a question for you to ask yourself on that day, on the last day of March, on the 66 vibe, which is that double energy of the 6. Truly, it's about your bliss. A great day to commune with yourself. Integrate yourself once again. Continue on that integration from that moon day. The lesson that you have learned about your thoughts and your feelings, and how you can bring together yourselves, all yourselves, your yin, your yang, your past, your future, your now, divinely. Okay? And it's what you make it. If you worry and stress about it, if you think, oh, but in the past I did this and in that, and feeling lack, thinking and feeling that you can't do this or you can't do that, then that is what could be. But if you know you're backed by divine, and you are a unique part of soul, and as long as you stay connected to your highest vibration self, you will fulfill soul, and I want to say outdo, not so much outdo, but come out of the societal box. You're winning. On Mercury Day, we have learn from the past to change the future now. Whoopa. Excuse me. That was when I moved the box. Not the box, the card. Don't watch my table. That was my juju stuff. Don't get spirit. There's high vibration, low vibration juju. Don't watch that. It's so good out here. Sometimes. Okay, we have the King of Pentacles. Hey, if you know, you know. Jesus, I'm not here to explain myself every minute. I'm love and peace, but there's a lot of war going on, and sometimes they bring it, so I have to do what I do. So, we learn from the past to change the future now. With King of Pentacles on a Mercury Day. And Mercury Day is the first day of April. Okay? And for April's messages, I'm going to do a separate recording for that. But the overall general message for April is the tarot card, major arcana, is strength. Okay? Strength in these times, strength on earth. Okay? And to use your strength with grace. Right? And confidence. Right? Be flexible. Surrender to what is right now. And be honest with yourself. Of your truth. Remember, we're founded. Okay? We know what we need to do to change, to be our highest self. It's an ode to or back to self, your original self, yourself that was close to divine when you were first born, with knowing all that you needed to know for your journey, until things happened and then you forgot that. It's to reclaim that, recall that. Okay? And that's what learning from the past to change your future now, so you can be your grand self in this physical world. And it's the first quarter lunar phase, and this is a great time to keep building and take actions, align yourself to what you started anew in the dark lunation phase. Okay, with the first day of April, it's an undertone of 8. Again, the 8 is all about understanding your cycles, past lives as well as in this life. You will understand your past life cycles when it's like the things that just kind of keep reoccurring, and triggers that you may have about certain things and situations. Those are usually life lessons from past lives. One of my I like to do past life readings. That's one of my biggest things. I do all of those. So if you want to understand more about your past life, I don't do past life regression, but I do the past life readings. So come check me if you want to know more about that. And that doesn't enable you to stay stuck in the past. It's to help you move forward in the future right now. Okay. At least that's how I set it up. So, because whenever I do any readings, any personal readings, I'm here to help you help yourself in the best way possible I know how to. And that is to pick up the keys and use your tools. Okay, the ones that you've already been divinely gifted with. I can show you the door, but you got to open it, right? So the following day is Jupiter Day. We have a twin flame with the 8 of Swords. And I'm actually going to do a quick love spread with the Romance Angel cards. Now, okay, I was just asking the guides. So this is Jupiter Day. We have, and as well as the first day and the second day of April, the moon is in Gemini. Okay, and the Jupiter Day is the second day of April. Okay, got you. The second day of April, and it's also a 10 vibrating energy. And 2 is all about unions, communions, coming together. Okay, and the 10 is about integration. And we have here, you deserve love. You are lovable. Okay, you deserve your true love. A lot of people are realizing, especially in these times, that whoever they're shacked up with is not really the one they want to be with. And it's up to you to remove yourself from that situation. Okay. You didn't come here to be mediocre. You didn't come here to be stuck in a situation where you're unhappy, where people are mistreating you. There's a lot of people that are in karmic situations that have been have been bamboozled, or have been given rose-colored goggles or glasses, have been put under magic spells, okay, to be in situations that they innately don't feel happy, don't feel joyous, don't feel right, whether they're looking for somebody else or they already know of somebody else, or however it goes, but they don't feel like they can move because of maybe circumstances. or they really literally can't move because the magic is that tight. And so if you are in this situation and one of your reasons is to do with children, like, best believe that you're not showing your children anything high vibration. If you don't mind your child growing up in a situation like that, then you can stay. But if you want better for your children, you have to show them better, and that means doing better for you first. Okay, that may mean leaving their other parent and still striving your best to deal with them if you are that kind of person that is, wanting to be there for your children in the best way possible. That's it, yeah. In other cases, if you feel like, that person that you want to remove yourself from, and you want to take sole care of the children, and you don't feel that this other person is responsible, is even like good for the children for many other reasons, then it's up to you to make that move and stand by it. Because again, if you stay just for the sake of, trying to have two parents in the household, it's more detrimental for the children, because if they don't see love, real true love, then they're not going to know how to get that for themselves. If they see hate, fuss, fight, or they're being abused, like, they're going to grow up to do the same, be the same, and fester with that. If you need to take yourself away, take time with yourself. And last week I posted on the Rarikaba Mystics, in all the pages, Rarikaba Mystics, about the, getting over an ex. We are in accelerated times. I recorded that a while back now. We are in accelerated times. So you may not have to take the same amount of time that you was with, but it's always preferable. But you really have to be diligent about your work in these accelerated times if you want to really, I want to say, not digest, but the opposite of digest, release the energies that you may have been with for however long. Because as I mentioned in that one, however long you are with somebody, you are ingesting fluids, and that then gels with your fluids. And it's like, the reason why people say people start to look like each other when they are with each other for a long time, or when they're very close, is because your energies are meshing. You become one another, for the good, the bad, or indifferent. So when you want to purge that out, you do have to take time for yourself, with yourself. But again, it doesn't have to be exactly that. It should be. It would have been probably last year or so. But now in these times, we are in accelerated healing times. And especially when we come into the summertime, and specifically around August time, when Sirius star is shining bright, that's a great time to really work your magic. If you can even work your magic up until that time, seriously, diligently, hard, like, really take yourself away and give yourself the time, the healing, the nurturing, the mending that you need. You're gold. Oh, look at that. Underneath the deck, we have love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Taking care of yourself first. Not falling for the okie doke. Not feeling like you have to be somewhere because society says this is how it should be. Remember, twin flames as well. You're not here as you're not here as society's pawn. Okay, you're here to transmute and transform society for its highest good. And that means you have to do that for yourself first. And it looks wayward to society when you do. But it's actually healing, or I keep saying healing, like mending for society. I don't want to use healing because healing is an ongoing term. I rather use mend, which doesn't sound as easily fluid slipping out of my mouth, but it's a way to say something is already done. You know, the wound is healed. Ugh, the wound is sealed. You know, but yeah, it's really important to love yourself first, and then got this up, and then to love another thereafter. Okay, so that's Jupiter Day. On Venus Day, we have the moon in Cancer, and we have time changes, move with the natural cycles with the Empress. Okay, and about the twin flame situation, you deserve love, you are lovable, yes. Because, you may have felt in that relationship, in your karmic situations, whether it's friendships, family ships, or love ships, you weren't lovable. People made you feel like you second guessing yourself. You wasn't comfortable in just expressing who you truly are, what made you feel good, or what made you laugh, what made you feel comfortable. You had to always do things differently because of other people. And maybe not all the times, but times you felt like you wasn't being your true, authentic self. More the reason for you to ditch that. Love yourself first and go ahead and make the romantic gestures where you feel more inclined to. And remember, take time with yourself first. No, it doesn't have to be the exact set letter time, but at least half that time. Like I said, if you can work yourself from now until August, and August the 8th is the pinnacle of the Sirius star, shining bright and giving us a lot of sounds, download codes. You'll realize the change for yourself. Okay, but it's up to you to make the changes. So again, on Venus Day, which the moon is in Cancer, it's a very busy day. It's the 3rd day of April, and it's also an underlying free energy. Okay, free again is that trinity: creativity, life, real love of life, when you can integrate your yin and your yang, your spirit and your matter. Okay, and the Empress is that energy that, that does that is able, understands the past to better move in the future right now. The Empress is the Venus energy, is that 6th vibration we're speaking about. And time changes, move with the natural cycles now. The Empress helps you understand that. The past is the past. The future is right now. Understand your natural cycles so you can move on up. On this day, we have Luna in the wax and gibbous phase. And the gibbous phase is all about receiving, being present, perfecting. Okay, and Luna is in Cancer, and it's north of the beehive cluster, which is M44. And it's all about nurturing your nature. We've got Venus also, Venus Day. Venus is conjuncting the Pleiades cluster as well in Taurus, as well as Mercury, which is in Aquarius, south of Neptune. Okay. And the Pleiades